It's Weezy FS1. Skip the BS and put everybody after VS. PS, all I spit is FACTS. The best, skip be less, yes, say less. Top for the top, apex, everyday flex. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', I ain't trying to hate. Let's have a Jordan and LeBron debate. I got time today, dripping on the chain. My diamonds say what they gotta say. If you think it's a game, I commentate, I ain't gotta play. On in the morning, I own my opponent. My competition is not an issue, it's cotton tissue. Unconventional, controversial, convoluted, unconditional, undeterred and undisputed. Good morning.
Good morning. Great NFL weekend. Well, except that the Cowboys should have beaten Detroit and Dallas yesterday and been on their way to San Francisco to get revenge over those sorry 49ers. But don't get me started on that just yet. Okay, so now we're down to Lions at 49ers. Niners favored by 7, and I think the Niners can pretty much name that score by 14, 21, whatever, unless it rains again and Brock Purdy starts throwing ducks, because he is the biggest X factor left in these playoffs. And we now have Mahomes at Lamar. Baltimore favored by 3.5, and I believe Lamar will take care of Mahomes and that the Ravens will give the Chiefs a swift kick and win that one by 10. But let's start with last night with another wide right for Bills fans, this time a sliced right field goal and a slice wind that would have forced overtime. Chiefs 27, Bills 24. Good morning to Richard Sherman and Michael Irvin. Playmaker, you first. You and I did pick the Bills. What was the biggest reason they lost?
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have this guy. His name is Patrick Mahomes. And I'm going to tell you something. We talk about games like this. The reality is you can throw with all these numbers, throw for this many yards. Do you show up and make the play when it's most important to make the play? 1-5 for the Kansas City Chiefs. He shows up and makes the play. Every time. It's amazing. You think about it. He's 6-0 in the division round, right? He's 6-0. Every statistical category, first or second, the more pressure in the game, the more he seems like he is pressurized for the moment, which is incredible. 6-0. He has a 70% completion percentage in this big spot. Average of 302 yards, 16 touchdowns, 0 interception. 16 touchdowns, 0 interception. Everything first or second, 115 passer rating. That's the guy that no matter what, when you're playing with a guy like that, no matter where the game goes, how bad the game gets, everybody's on the sideline saying, that's okay. That guy right there, he ain't gonna let us lose. And that's why the Buffalo Bills lost. They have a guy, like that guy right there, he's trying to make sure we don't lose. But not like Patrick Mahomes. He's the best big-time player that we've gotten. And we see in a number of different ways. We've seen the explosiveness with Tyreek Hill. Now we're seeing the steadiness. I'll do what I have to do, even if I have to matriculate this ball down the football field. I am everything on this football field, and he's showing it every week. That's why the Buffalo Bills are sitting home. They knew Patrick Mahomes keeps sending us home. They can sing that rhyme. Patrick Mahomes keeps sending us home, because that's the reality.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes keeps
sending us home. Patrick Mahomes keeps sending us home.
Okay.
That's a rhyme right there.
Yeah, I like it. Skip, this is what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
I said it earlier in the week, and I said it on my podcast. I don't think Josh Allen can beat Patrick Mahomes. I think he's the dragon that he cannot slay. I think he is the Goliath that David cannot slay. Everybody talks about the David and Goliath, and David slayed Goliath. But you got to realize, that's one time out of 100. The other 99 times, Goliath beat David against the wall and killed him. So you got to understand that when you're playing Patrick Mahomes, you have to go over and beyond to beat him. You not just, and that's not what Buffalo was trying to do. Buffalo was sitting there playing conservatively, playing not to lose the game. They're throwing half the completion that Josh Allen had were behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. That's not how you're beating Patrick Mahomes. You're trying to run the clock and make the game short. Sure, I get you. But all I hear all the time is how elite of a quarterback Josh Allen is. I hear these elite quarterbacks, they can do it on their own. They don't need help. They just have everything it takes. No, they don't. And the way that Joe Brady called this game, it was almost as if they didn't trust Josh Allen to win this game. They didn't trust that Josh Allen could go out there and out-execute and outplay Patrick Mahomes. So they said, hey, we're going to run the ball. We're not going to push the ball down the field very hard. We're going to pick and choose our spots that we're going to push the ball down the field. They only pushed the ball down the field maybe 3 or 4 times in the game. They missed to Shakir on what looked like could have been a touchdown. He missed Diggs. Well, he hit Diggs in the hands, and Diggs dropped it, which should have been a touchdown. But other than that...
sideline, down the sideline?
Yeah. Down the sideline.
Yeah,
and
right sideline.
It just looked like they did not trust their quarterback that they have such high expectations and such high regard for to win this game. They were instead happy to see him run the ball, Skip. And Skip, I'm just saying, you 1-3 this week on your predictions. You were 2-4 last week, Skip. I don't know.
Yeah, but I won 4 dinners during the season from you, and I won 5 from Keyshawn. I'm actually 9-0 in dinner bets on the show.
You forget about them losses that you took late in the season, and then your loss in your prediction with the Dallas Cowboys.
Losses.
Okay,
you think that those are dinner bets, but you have to actually make the dinner bet on the show to have a dinner bet.
You made the dinner.
We didn't have any bets on those.
You had a bet that Dallas would make the NFC Championship, and they're not there. But, hey.
Okay. We were going game by game. Okay, so here's the point. I hear what both of you say about Patrick Mahomes. I give it up to Mahomes. He was very good. I thought Josh Allen outplayed Mahomes last night, especially given degree of difficulty, because the Bills' defense was flat out decimated. They were even losing players during the game. We had backups to backups to backups. We had guys off their couch playing defense for the Bills last night. And don't get me started on Matt Milano gone early this year, Tre'Davious White gone early this year. It was a mismatch to me of Mahomes versus what was left of the Bills' defense, and they got little to no pressure on Mahomes. So he's nonchalantly back there picking them to pieces. And when I looked up late in the first half and he hit Kelsey for that 22-yarder for a touchdown, how do you not cover Travis Kelsey? How do you leave him gone wide open, like nobody's around him? Well, obviously, he's the number 1 option left for Patrick Mahomes. So how do you do that? So given the pressure on Josh Allen and given the stats that I'm looking at, Josh Allen actually dominated this game with his arm and his legs, even though I give you, Richard, he was dinking and dunking. But I've never heard of such a statistical anomaly as what happened last night. The Bills ran 78 plays to only 47 for Patrick Mahomes. Time of possession was 37 minutes for the home team to only 23 minutes for Patrick Mahomes. Conversions on 3rd and 4th down. Would you believe Buffalo went 9 of 17? That'll win a whole lot of football games. And yet Patrick was only asked to go 5 times on 3rd down. He faced 5 thirds, and guess what? He converted 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 versus 9 out of 17. So you step back from this and say, well, then what happened? Well, to Richard's point, Josh Allen took 2 big shots in the 4th quarter down the field. And if we could see him again, you alluded to him, Richard. The first one's to Trent Sherfield out of Vanderbilt University. And I thought this is early in the 4th quarter, should have been caught. This is about, 10:59 left in the 4th quarter. And he goes deep to Trent Sherfield. And again, it's not an easy catch, but it's just catchable. We've seen that catch made repeatedly in this league. And Trent Sherfield's bounced around. He's been with 4 different teams. That's all you got left because you don't have Gabe Davis. Maybe Gabe Davis catches that ball. It was a good enough throw to be caught, and it's going to change the game. And then a couple of minutes pass, and we got another one that you both referred to, and it's to Stephon Diggs. And I wish it was Stephon Diggs. Wish he could have played this year. But bombs away. Not many humans can throw it that far. And I don't know what's going on between these two. Michael, you have talked about it all year long. They're just not on the same page. I don't know if they have personal issues. I don't know what's going on. That ball has to be caught, and that ball changes the outcome of this game, in my opinion. It's just everything because it gets the crowd into it. And again, what's hard to believe is that Josh Allen's offense had no plays over 20 yards except for his, the closest was his 18-yard run, and he had a 15-yard pass to Diggs, but he